Ain't nobody's running. Ain't nobody's hiding. Nobody's ducking. I mean, Crawford's going to be right there, ready to trade blows with Canelo Alvarez. Why did you use that word war? Why are you...
Go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages. Most of them are Crawford.
Crawford could see everything coming. He could see everything coming that Canelo threw at him. He was reading it so well.
About the same size. But that was a brilliant performance. And what can you say? I mean, you got to give him his credit. He created a lot of history. He dreamt this fight. He willed it to happen. A lot of people, not me, but a lot of people laughed at him, said, forget about it, no chance against a bigger guy like...
Stephen A. Smith had a strong reaction to Canelo Alvarez's loss against Terence Crawford. He pointed out that Crawford had been chasing this fight for years to cement his legacy. In Smith's view, Crawford delivered when it mattered most, proving himself on the biggest stage and taking the spotlight away from Canelo. He stressed that this wasn't just another victory, it was a defining moment in Crawford's career.
Division world champion out of Omaha, Nebraska. He's undefeated, 41-0 with 31 KOs, and he begged for this fight. He wanted Canelo bad because to him, it's all about legacy. I'm not speculating. I'm telling you what I know. And how would I know? It's because I interviewed him. Yesterday, we sat down. Here is my conversation with the one and only Terence Crawford challenging Saul Canelo Alvarez, moving up 2 weight divisions to do it.
Max Kellerman agreed that Terence Crawford's win over Canelo Alvarez was both historic and career-defining. Breaking down the fight, Kellerman explained that Canelo faced the rare challenge of moving up in weight and battling an opponent who could push him into a real war for the first time. He pointed out that truly confident fighters don't avoid tough matchups based on size, speed, or power. They embrace them. That's exactly what Crawford did. For years, Kellerman noted, hardly anyone dared to call out Bud. Yet Crawford stepped forward without hesitation. In doing so, he proved his place among boxing's most respected names.
Giving up or having to jump up 2 more weight classes and fight a guy who might put him in a dogfight, a real one, for the first time in his career.
When we get put in that position, we go find opposition to make that happen. You understand me? So when we go looking for the opposition, we're not concerned about how big they are, how fast they are, how strong they are. We feel like we got enough that we can bring to the table with anybody. That night I fought John Ruiz, I didn't care who was over there. Whoever they brought at that locker room was going to get it. You understand me? That's just what it was. And I think Bud kind of has that feeling. Now, Bud, you got to remember, has been around for a long time. Nobody called him out. You understand me? All the time Floyd came at the boxing floor, never said, I want Bud Crawford.
No one ever said his name.
Hey, all I know is one thing. Israel Mazrimov, he didn't get it. He barely lost.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but nobody called his name.
Shakur Stevenson has always shown deep respect for Terence Crawford, but after Crawford's dominant victory over Canelo Alvarez, his praise carried even more meaning. Stevenson said Crawford not only backed up every promise he made before the fight, but also proved why he's regarded so highly in boxing. He revealed that from the start of his own career, he studied Crawford's style, mindset, and discipline. Seeing his idol achieve such a historic milestone reinforced for Stevenson that true greatness comes from years of hard work and consistency. To him, Crawford isn't just a champion inside the ring. He's also a mentor figure who sets the standard that younger fighters aim to reach.
On Cook Canelo. Said he was going to outbox him. He did exactly what I called years ago. And tonight he proved that he's the greatest boxer that ever lived.
Well, in the interview with Dimwat, you said, you felt like going on a run watching that tonight. How much inspiration can you take from someone like Terence?
I take everything from him. I've been around him since I was a kid. And just watching that greatness.
Stephen A. Smith reflected on just how determined Terence Crawford was heading into the Canelo fight. He pointed out that while many fighters might have asked a superstar like Canelo to meet at a lower weight, Crawford chose to face him straight up at 168 pounds. For Crawford, this fight wasn't about comfort, it was about legacy. Smith reminded fans that Canelo remains one of the sport's most accomplished champions, with titles across multiple divisions. The fact that Crawford went after him at his strongest weight showed his hunger to prove greatness on the toughest stage possible.
1-0, Molly, with 31 knockouts. He's taking on all comers. I asked him, you're moving up in weight. Why would you not try to get Canelo to come down from 168 to 160 to meet you halfway, since his last fight was at Crawford's last fight was at 154? Crawford said, I want what he has. I want to go take it. I don't want to make, I don't want to making concessions and alterations. I'm coming to take what he has. And you look at him, and no one believes that he can't pull it off. He can box, he can punch, he's smart, he's elite, and he wants Canelo. He begged Canelo for this fight.
Aide Oladipo pointed out the dramatic shift in how people view Terence Crawford. Before the fight, critics argued he was too small, too old, and not built to handle a powerhouse like Canelo Alvarez at a higher weight. But once the fight was over, many of those same critics were quick to applaud him, forgetting the doubts they had raised earlier. Oladipo stressed that Crawford earned every bit of that praise because he took the hardest road possible. Moving up from smaller divisions to challenge a dominant champion like Canelo wasn't a shortcut. It was a huge risk. By beating Canelo so convincingly, Crawford proved that age and size don't define him. His skill and determination do.
Did it again a few hours ago against Canelo. And what makes it even special or more special for Crawford is that he did it jumping up, as we know, a couple of weight classes. He did it against one of an all-time or another fellow all-time great. And he did it against someone who was undisputed and still a pound-for-pound top 10 guy. That's what Crawford did, people. So, all those things people were saying in the lead up to this fight, Canelo's going to be too strong, Canelo's too experienced, Crawford's going to be 38, all that. You have to remember all of that when you give Crawford his flowers. Like, don't like, oh, well, Canelo looks old. No. I don't want to hear any of that. I've started to see a few people on Twitter start to kind of sort of find excuses already. No. Remember everything you said, because Crawford deserves all of that. All of that. Crawford was incredible. Honestly, in the pocket, he was at times showing Canelo, no, I'm stronger than you. I'm going to bully you. Oh, you think you're going to get me in the clinch because you're Mr. 168? No, look at the size of me. I'm jacked as well. I'm swole. And he was moving Canelo around. So by doing that, he got his respect. He didn't switch to orthodox once, stayed in the southpaw stance because he realized early, Canelo don't like this. Canelo does not like this southpaw stance. Canelo's tripping over himself. I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to switch it. No, I like this work. I'm going to stay here. On the ropes, it's like, okay, come in. Because when you come in, I've got that as well. And I can hurt you as well. Spinning off the ropes. His jab was fantastic. They put up the jab numbers. He was out jabbing Canelo like, it was almost like 10-1. Maybe even 20-1. It was fantastic. And when he needed to land those power shots, he was landing those power shots. It was an incredible performance.
The Wade Concept analysts shut down the idea that Canelo's loss could simply be blamed on him being past his prime. He reminded viewers that Crawford is actually older than Canelo, so age can't be used as an excuse. On top of that, Canelo came in with clear advantages. He was bigger, stronger, and fully comfortable at 168 pounds. Yet none of that stopped Crawford from beating him. The analysts stressed that this wasn't about Canelo declining. It was about Crawford rising to an entirely new level. By stripping away the excuses, he made it clear that Crawford's victory was real, legitimate, and truly historic.
More tight, more fundamentally sound. While Canelo, even when he was able to get to range, which wasn't a lot, it wasn't often, he was having a hard time landing clean because everything was super wide and out here and to the body out there. And Crawford would either circle out to that same side, to Canelo's lead hand side. He would circle away because Canelo would step straight to Crawford and chase him and not necessarily cut him off. And even when he threw that hook, I was looking for the hook from Canelo right hand as he stepped through, right? Corral with the lead hand, bang the right hand because you're fighting a southpaw. So yeah, your jab may not be as effective in landing and managing distance and all those things, even though for Terence it kind of was. For Canelo, I was expecting a lot more of that right hand down the middle and over the top, and him jabbing his way, feint jab right hand, and then that lead hook that I thought he would be able to corral Crawford, because Crawford did want to move away from Canelo. He did. He wanted to move away from that power hand. Smart to do. Canelo never took that extra step to step outside of Crawford's lead foot. Again, that orthodox southpaw matchup, it's always going to be a battle of that lead foot. He never took that next step to get outside of that lead foot and then step through Crawford, step to his left where Crawford was going and land his right hand. He just felt like he was falling off to his right with his right hand, and once he fell off to his right after he threw the right hand, there was no follow-ups because he was off balance, and Crawford was out the gate and circling back to reset the action. This was a masterful display from Terence Crawford. And again, I looked at this fight, and I don't want to do the thing where I said, oh, Canelo's washed, he's over the top, he's old. Terence Crawford's older than Canelo. Is he as weathered as far as fights are concerned? No. But you can only do one thing when talking about this fight, and that is give credit to Terence Crawford. If you want to say Canelo looked old, that's fine. That's on you. I'm not going to